Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about crypto influencers. Who are the top influencers in this space to follow? What are my opinions on a number of the top crypto influencers in this space? Who is talking complete nonsense? Who is actually giving you a lot of value, and who should you actually subscribe to and who should you not subscribe to? I think this is really important because I get this question all the time. Like, how do I learn about crypto? Who should I follow? Or I'll get videos shared by certain people and I'll be like, look, this is poor information. Or sometimes I will get videos shared and I will think like, oh wow, I didn't hear of this person. This is actually really good. So I've been in the space since 2017 now myself, right at the end of 2017. Obviously, like many of you that are probably watching this channel, I saw the Bitcoin price up at 20,000. I didn't buy Bitcoin at 20,000, but it got me interested in the space. And I started from 2018 to then invest. And look, I think I'd like to say I've got a pretty good knowledge of influencers in this space. Obviously, I'm a young, small influencer myself. I wouldn't really even classify myself as an influencer yet. I don't think I'm at that level. I'm just a small channel. I'm just trying to grow and make interesting and valuable content. So I am obviously, yeah, I'm influenced by some of the people on this list in terms of what they look at and what they do. Others, I try and distance myself from, and it's sort of like that's what not to do because I don't agree with their approach or how they present information, or indeed some of the recommendations they make to their followers or some of the coins they promote are downright, I think, disgraceful. So, yeah, certainly this is a quite a varied list, and I'm actually, well, I might as well go on screen share and share the names of the people that I'm going to be reviewing today, because this was really the inspiration for this post has come from the Superman right here. And he's actually asked the question, which team would you pick for the bull market? Now, this is a little bit of a a little bit of a sort of leading question, or a trick question. It's like obviously you've got to pick a team. Obviously you can't sort of swap the teams around. So you might want to go with House of Crypto, and then you might like BitBoy, then you might say I want non-BS crypto. Obviously he's asking which team would you go with. Right here, right now, I don't really want to answer that question because I don't believe from this list there is a correct answer. All of these teams have people that probably share some valuable information, and other people on the teams that share pretty dire and pretty awful information. So, yeah, I'm going to jump into this and just go through these one by one, as opposed to actually giving you the recommendation on what team. And then at the end, I'll actually put forward a team E that contains three influencers that are not on this list that I would actually follow. So I don't think I would choose any of these teams to follow if I was you, or if I was recommending somebody that was new to crypto. I don't think I would follow any of these teams. That is the answer. I would follow my own team, which is going to be Team E, which I'll share at the end. So let's jump into it, and let's obviously start with, probably we'll go through from Team A through to Team D, and then I'll share my Team E. So House of Crypto, I know only really from a couple of appearances that he's made on Crypto Banter. I don't know him personally or in any great detail. All I can say is the content that he's actually done that I've watched, I have thought has been fairly good. I think he talks well. I think he explains things fairly clearly and rationally. He seems to be a fairly intelligent guy. And look, I don't think you're going to get any stuff or information from him that is going to be beyond some of the other influencers on this list. I don't think there's anything like overly revolutionary about what he's doing. I haven't really been exposed to many of his calls, but I know that some of the projects he has spoken about are decent projects. And I think he comes across like a reasonable guy and an upfront guy. So I would say House of Crypto. Do you want to follow him or not? Personally, I think there's better. people both on and off this list to follow. So he's not somebody I recommend to follow. But if you do like his content, if you get on well with him as a guy, I don't think it's an issue following him. I'd put him, if I'm looking to categorize this into follow, not follow, and sort of no real opinion, preference, follow if you want, follow if you don't want, he'd probably go into the middle bracket. He'd probably be neither follow or unfollow, just if you want to follow him, follow him. But yeah, I think he's pretty much in the center of the scale if you're asking me to grade these influencers. So moving on to the next one, Coin Bureau. So Coin Bureau, personally, he makes very, very entertaining videos, very easy to watch videos. He talks in rhymes. He presents, I mean, the production is very professional, very, very slick. I think Coin Bureau more targets himself to more of the entry level slash less knowledgeable retail audience. He explains things in bite size. He explains things in a way that's very, very easy to understand. So I think with somebody like Coin Bureau, you've really got to sort of take into consideration the fact that, okay, he's explaining things and maybe he's over explaining things. He likes to structure his videos where he breaks it up in terms of talking about a project and then he looks at the advantages and the disadvantages and then he makes a summary. So I really like the way his videos are structured. I really like the production quality. I think the graphics are great. I think he's a great talker, a great presenter. I don't think there's massive amounts of alpha to get from his content if you've been in crypto for a while, or if you're looking to really get your knowledge level to like super advanced when it comes to crypto and when it comes to trading. That being said, I think if you are new to crypto, he is a good person to follow. So I'm going to actually put him in the not follow or not unfollow category. I'm also going to put him in the middle tier just because I think it all depends on you. If you're somebody that is new, you probably want to follow him. If you're somebody that is very experienced or a bit more advanced or looking for information you won't get in other places, I think you probably want to unfollow him. So I'm again going to put him along with House of Crypto in the center bracket. No BS crypto. So I'm going to have to excuse myself here, but I don't really know who this guy is. From this whole list, he is the one person that I don't actually know. So I'm not going to be able to give you a judgment on him. I'm going to have to obviously put him in the middle bracket. So Team A is pretty much in the don't follow, but also don't avoid category. It's one of those where it's like, well, um, obviously, I can't comment on no BS crypto, but I think really it comes down to your preference whether you follow any of these guys. So I'll move on now to Team B, and obviously Team B is starting with a Superman. So look, I mean, what can I say about this guy? Cheesy smile right here. He's very entertaining. I like the way he talks. I like the way he presents his information. My criticism of the Superman is that he can talk about these tiny, tiny, very, very low cap, low risk, or sorry, low cap, high risk, definitely not low risk projects. And a lot of videos you'll see from him, he will literally cause the price to 2x, 3x, 4x, maybe even 10x off the back of one of his videos. He is ultimately pumping and dumping micro cap coins. Now, if you're a real degen and you really, really want to chase some of these huge, huge crypto moves, then of course he's going to be up your street. You're going to want to watch him. Maybe you're going to find a gem from this guy that will do 100x to 1000x, as he likes to say at the start of his videos. These are the types of coins he gets into. Now, almost the opposite to Coin Bureau. If you're new to crypto, this is the last area of the cryptocurrency market that you want to be speculating in. You want to completely avoid these micro caps. They are going to be the fastest way for you to lose your money. I mean, if you're watching one of his videos, talks about a coin, it jumps up 5x, you then pile in, you're likely going to be getting used as exit liquidity. And this is my issue with Superman. Some of his research is good. Some of the projects that he talks about are very, very good. But I'm just very skeptical that people have to be fully aware of the risk. I know he puts out disclaimers, and look, I know he's very watchable and he talks very well, but I just feel he needs to come with a great big warning to be extremely careful because you will lose all of your money if you do not know what you're doing and if you try to get into his trades after they've already moved a 5 to 10x, thinking you're going to get a further 5 to 10x, it's highly, highly unlikely. So I would actually say with the Superman, for me, do not follow, do not subscribe unless you are extremely advanced. And then he probably goes into the middle tier. If you're very advanced, you know what you're doing, and you actually like this end of the market, this super high risk, low market cap end of the market, then he might just be the person that you actually want to follow and subscribe to. But I think for 90% of you, and certainly 100% of people, if they're new, you want to avoid him. Crypto gains. Now I can see why Superman has done a team B because all of these influencers are very, very similar. Okay. They all talk about these gems, these micro caps. Crypto gains likes to call some of the meme coins, or actually almost all of the meme coins he talks about, as biohazard meme coins. And I quite like crypto gains because he tells it like it is. This is a super high risk investment. You're probably going to lose all of your money and get completely wiped out if you get into this token. And he tells you that. It is what it is. You know what you're getting yourself into when you watch crypto gains. He's got a Patreon, he's got a VIP Telegram. You can subscribe to these services and you can try to get in when he gets in or right after he gets in. And then obviously when he talks about these coins, then there's more liquidity flowing into these coins. They're low market caps and they do pump. Now, full disclaimer, I was actually a member of Crypto Gains Patreon and his Telegrams earlier on this year. I've actually unsubscribed now just because I don't have time with making content, with leverage trading, with spot trading, with trying to manage the whole crypto rotation cycle. I don't have time now to, get these alerts and jump straight onto Phantom Wallet and start putting Solana into these micro cap meme coins, trying to catch, a quick sort of 5 to 10x. I just don't have time for it anymore. But when I was doing it, I did find that if you're smart, if you're a good trader, if you're very quick, you can make a bit of money. So again, this is for the advanced traders that know exactly what they're doing. If you want to get a little bit more and you feel like you've got that appetite, you're a degen and you've got that appetite to make a quick sort of 2x, 3x, crypto gains could be somebody worth checking out. So I'm not going to rule him out, but I'm just going to say, similar to Superman, if you're new to this space, you don't really want to be following somebody like crypto gains. I mean, unless you have all of the time in the world where you can follow all of these channels and watch all of their videos, and very, very few of you will have all that time because these guys are all pretty much making daily content. Some of it's sort of weekly content, I think, with things like sort of your Alex Beckers and stuff. But a lot of these guys are putting out daily videos. It's a lot to follow. And look, I just think you're going to get distracted and you're going to end up getting into the wrong things by following the majority of these guys on Team B. And look, Joe Parry's, I don't know him as well as I know Crypto Gains and Superman, but I believe he is of the same breed. Obviously, he's in the Team B for a reason. Superman has talked about him before, saying that Joe Parry's comes up with some really good low cap gems. And so these are really your low cap gem influencers. And look, if that's your cup of tea, then by all means follow them. But I just think for 90% of people that are probably watching this video, these guys are just not going to be relevant. You want to be getting into the majors. You want to be understanding the rotation. Right now, Bitcoin's very strong. Bitcoin is likely to get rotated into altcoins. You want to be positioning into altcoins ahead of alt season. Then you want to think about taking profits, maybe back into Bitcoin, maybe a little bit back into stables. You want to Understand how to play the rotation. You don't want to be getting yourself caught up putting all your money into these low cap gems because you will lose more often than you will win. And even if you get that 10x trade, or even if you get a 20x, 30x, are you really going to be able to hold after a 10x to a 20x or 30x? I think most people are probably going to sell a 10x when they get it. So, if you catch one or two of those from every 10 calls, maybe you can make it, but I think you'll probably only catch one 10x out of 10, which means, if you sell that 10x when it's a 5x and you think you're making money, you're still not going to cover your losses. So it's very, very hard. It's very hard. Temptation's always there to take profits off. When you get a 2x, the temptation is there to take your initial out. And this means that, if you're taking initials out from most of these investments, then you're going to have like at least 50% because the other 50% are probably going to go to zero. So it's just tough. It's just tough. I'm just being honest with you. Anyways, moving on now to Team C. And Team C, I think, is fairly good. Probably out of the teams we've looked at so far, this is the most targeted to, say, a newer investor. I mean, Alex Becker, he is fantastic when it comes to talking to retail. He makes very entertaining videos and he talks a lot about gaming tokens. And more recently, he's also pivoted to AI. So he talks a lot about gaming and AI tokens. These are two narratives that I think will be very strong. I think meme coins right now is the strongest crypto narrative, but I do think that gaming and AI will make a strong comeback this cycle. And Alex Becker is the main influencer for both of those sectors of the crypto market. There's so much attention and eyes on this guy. His videos get millions of views. For me, you've really, yeah, I mean, I follow him. I think he is probably a must follow. And that's the first person on this list I would say is a must follow. Why? Because he can drive retail into certain areas of the market beyond what any other influencer on this list can, and probably any other influencer in crypto can. That's no disrespect to any of the other influencers on this list. So I would say that Alex Becker is a must follow. And if you watch one of his videos, you'll see what I mean. Good production, very entertaining, simplifies things very well, and makes his point very well, and talks about coins that tend to do very well in the retail market. So that's Alex Becker. Elio Trades is very similar to Alex Becker. Again, I can tell why these are both in Team C. They've actually got a project together, Neo Tokyo. I believe they're working on another project together. Elio Trades is very, very sort of connected to the gaming space. Both of these guys are very connected to the gaming space through Neo Tokyo, which is basically a gaming, like if you own a Neo Tokyo NFT, you get access to this sort of gaming private members club where they all talk about projects together. A lot of the projects that are involved in that club, Alex Becker then talks about. Elio also likes to talk about similar projects too. So I think Elio, again, is a decent one to follow. Whatever stage of the cycle you're in, I think he's a good one to follow. I noticed Elio has pivoted slightly more into meme coins as well on his most recent videos. And I actually think this is really good because he's adapting. He's realizing that it's not just going to be gaming tokens this bull run. Actually, meme coins over here are performing really, really well. And if you want to see the best gains, you want to have some allocation, most definitely to meme coins, because so far they are outperforming this cycle. And usually those coins that outperform throughout the early stages tend to outperform throughout the whole of the cycle. So I like Alio Trades, Virtual Bacon. I think he's really good. I don't watch all of his videos. Again, I think on the Coin Bureau sort of side, he makes very, very easy to understand videos and he makes things very clear, gets his points across very well. And look, I think he is deserving of a follow. I would say Alex Becker is probably a must follow. Elio Trades, I would put at the higher end of being indifferent. maybe you want to follow, but I don't really have a massive opinion. If you're more into gaming, if that's more your bag, then yes, you definitely want to follow Elio Trades. If not, then maybe watch a video of his, see how you like him. Virtual breaking, I think, is probably also at the higher end of being indifferent. I mean, see if you like him. If you like his style, follow him. If you don't follow him. I don't think he is giving out bad advice that you necessarily have to avoid. It's just being sort of mindful of, the levels of information that people on these lists are giving out. And look, I think whereas someone like Superman could lead you into a bad place and potentially you could, you'll be at very high risk of losing money if you follow his picks, although you might very much make some good money too. Virtual bacon, it's gonna be a little bit safer. It's not as high on the risk curve. So I think it's closer to Coin Bureau. So I think virtual bacon is probably a better one to follow if you're newer to crypto. It's gonna be more information, give you a better feel for things. And yeah, I'd probably put him just under the definitely follow. I'd have Alex Becker as a definitely follow. Elio Trays, definitely follow if you're into gaming. Virtual Bacon, probably think about following, but mainly indifferent. And then moving on to the final team we've got here. So Crypto Banter. Obviously, the photo here is of Crypto Man Ran. I really like Crypto Banter. I've been watching Crypto Banter now probably for the last 2 years. I think they've got some really good hosts. I actually think a couple of their hosts are exceptional. And one of their hosts that I really like is this man himself, Ran. I think he's great. I think his content is great. He gives a lot of alpha. They've got a whole research team behind them in terms of the projects they talk about. He's always coming up with buy lists. I'd say if you're being critical of Ran, it's the fact that, okay, every week there seems to be another buy list, or every 2 weeks there seems to be another buy list. But look, I mean, this is the business, this is the game. Things change all the time, narratives change all the time. It's important to keep at the cutting edge of those narratives and momentum shifts. And they are completely locked in. Crypto Banter is completely locked in. If I had to say, from all of the Crypto Banter team, who I recommend the most highly, it would be Kyle Dupes. So obviously Kyle Dupes, his photo is not here, but if you were to subscribe to Crypto Banter, and to be honest with you, no matter what your stage is, whether you're new to crypto or you're experienced at crypto, I would actually follow Crypto Banter because I think the alpha there is really good. And like I say, I am a fan of Kyle Dupes. I try to watch his stream most days if I have time to. I don't really have a lot of time to watch other crypto influencers right now. But Kyle is somebody that I do try to follow. There's somebody else I also try to follow daily, which I will mention. He'll be in Team E. But yes, I think Crypto Banter are a good one, are a reputable outfit. They've done things like airdrops to their community, like the Gummy token, and yeah, I truly believe that was they had every best intention with that. This is something that the community was able to benefit from. I think I received probably must have been about 1,000 USD worth, which, as far as airdrop hunting goes, for me over the last couple of years is pretty good. I've missed out on many of the big airdrops myself, so it was a nice touch to get that. And they've got Rand's group front runners. Kyle's got a private group, like a paid group called the Whale Room. So if you want to get more immersed in the stuff that they're doing, then you can always check those out. I don't really have any negative things to say about Crypto Banter. I do think they're a very reputable sort of production team. And yeah, like I say, I think Kyle is first class, really. So yeah, good recommendation, and I would definitely give them a follow. BitBoy, I mean, this guy, like, deep breath. Okay, so I just think this guy's a bit of a clown. I've got to be honest about it. I'm not a fan. I think a couple of years ago, maybe the last bull run, I was following his channel, obviously the Bit Squad, and yeah, there was all that. I mean, he came out with some crazy calls. He came out with some crazy calls towards the top of the bull market. Bitcoin going to much higher prices, Doge going to over $1. I think Doge got up to 90 cents. But he was literally making a video when it was at 90 cents saying like, oh, Bitcoin Doge to $1 is inevitable, and then he crashed. He did something similar with XRP. His calls are not very good. Um, he's all over the place. If you look at what happened when he had the fallout with obviously the BitBoy channel, and then obviously the BitBoy's channel's now rebranded, and he did all that sort of hunting Sam Bankman-Fried, and then he ended up sort of going to the address of one of his bosses at BitBoy, and oh man, it was pretty unhinged, and it was very entertaining. I mean, great entertainment at a time when the market was fairly quiet. Obviously, the FTX collapsed, everything was on the floor. The market was struggling for a bit of humor and a bit of moral and something to sort of lift us up. And I think some of us probably got that from BitBoy. So I'm going to give him his credit. He's very entertaining, but probably in the wrong way if you actually want to improve your crypto knowledge. I don't really think he knows what he's talking about when it comes to crypto. I think his success is largely more the fact that it was right place, right time. He got into crypto early. He got a lucky tip. He managed to have conviction in the space, which is not luck. That is something I give him credit for. And he's made a lot of content, and he makes entertaining content. And again, that's not luck. That's hard work. That's effort. It's not easy to make daily videos. It's not easy to make entertaining content. So I give him his props where they're due. But if you are trying to take advice from people, obviously not financial advice, but if you're trying to get knowledge from people on crypto about, projects and where to think about sort of putting your hard-earned money, I would not get it at all from BitBoy. So it would be a do not follow for me. And then Miles. So Miles part or used to be part of Crypto Banter. Very, very similar in terms of the things he talks about to the Banter hosts. It's almost like he never left when he watches videos. I mean, he's hardworking. He puts out daily content. I don't really have a problem with Miles's content. I got personally a little bit upset with him with his involvement in Satoshi's Satoshi Virtual Machine. I think SAVM was a project that he'd been linked to. He said some positive things about it on launch. I think he was a KOL. I believe he got some free tokens, and obviously profited from that as a project. And look, I think enough water's under the bridge now where I sort of forgive him for that. But he did like an apology video. On the apology video, he was sort of saying, "Oh, I never told anybody to go out and buy this." And then there was tweets from him saying, basically go out and buy it. Like this is gonna pump hard. And he was like, "I never said it's gonna pump hard." I can't remember the exact quotes or the exact information that was shared. But look, it was disappointing. That was around the time he left Crypto Banter. I've seen some of his content recently. It is good. Again, I kind of put him on, not a definitely follow, not a definitely unfollow. He's just one of those guys. If you like his style, then probably go and give him a follow. So just to summarize from the influencers in front of you, I would say follow Crypto Banter, follow Alex Becker. If you're into the gaming space, also follow Elio Trades. If you really want to enhance your knowledge more quickly and you feel like you can follow more people and you've got a bit more time to subscribe to some more accounts, I would probably go with Virtual Bacon and potentially Coin Bureau as well. So that would be my top five here: Crypto Banter, Alex Becker, Elliot Trades, Virtual Bacon, Coin Bureau. Now, I know that is obviously the top five that I've picked on this list to follow, but there's also three people not on this list that I do want to tell you to follow. This you could call this a team E, and I think on the basis that I'm handpicking this team, it's probably the team to follow would be the team E, which I will now talk about. Obviously, the first person I want to talk about is myself. So I know I'm a very, very small channel, and I know that obviously I'm new to content, but I'm not new to trading. I'm not new to markets. and I understand the crypto space very, very well. I've traded this space actively daily since 2018. So that gives me 6 years of direct cryptocurrency experience. And I've been trading directly financial derivatives products since 2008. So that gives me like 14 years of, no, sorry, 16 years of trading experience in total. And that's trading things like futures and CFDs and other sort of derivatives products. So I understand trading very well. And also, I would say that in terms of calling the market, like sort of anticipating pullbacks, corrections, the price action around Bitcoin when Bitcoin looks strong, when Bitcoin looks like it needs to cool off. I've made some pretty accurate predictions when it comes to either price targets or pullback targets around this market. Obviously, I called back in the summer the capitulation low in August. I anticipated that type of move before it happened. I then positioned in on that move. I don't know too many people in the space that did. A lot of people were getting very fearful. A lot of people were getting very worried. I've held positions since then. I've added to them. I've had conviction that we would break out from this range. Now, I know other traders and influencers have had conviction too, but I just mean from a timing perspective, I did say Bitcoin would get back to new all-time highs towards the end of October, early November. That's exactly what we did. And look, I also called the bear market low last time. I was leaning in heavily to the market when FTX went down at around $15,000 to $16,000 Bitcoin. I did purchase Bitcoin back then and I made big purchases. This is when I actually took out credit to buy more Bitcoin. So yes, I think I do have some good predictions that I do know what I'm talking about. So I would put myself on this team E. The other two people I put in the team E that are not here, one is Eric Crown. I've spoken about Eric Crown a couple of times before because he does some very, very good analysis in terms of back testing and looking at prior data, which he likes to share. Specifically, he's talked about the lows of October coming in earlier on in the month. They have done, especially when we're in a halving year. Similarly, he did November's analysis. He's done analysis on December. I really like that type of stuff that he does. And the other thing I like about it, he looks at things from a different way. He looks a lot at, he's got an options background, so he looks at things like volatility. He's got a lot of sort of volatility bands. He looks at a lot of range stuff, like what is the like expected range, was the 50 percentile, was the 95 percentile. He looks at some really, really interesting stuff, which is very different from what I look at. I'm looking at trend. I'm looking at sort of higher highs, higher lows, or lower highs, lower lows. I'm looking at things like support and resistance. I'm using some chart patterns. I'm using some divergences. I'm looking at the funding rates. I'm looking at the liquidation heat maps. Eric Crown is looking at different stuff. He's looking at the BBWP, which is the Bollinger Band Width Percentile. He's looking at his dual indicator. He's got his own custom indicators. And it's really interesting because a lot of the times his indicators will align with my indicators. And then you get that confluence between the pair of us. So I definitely follow Eric Crown. And the other person I would definitely follow is Jason Pizzino. So Jason Pizzino, he's really good at just stepping back and looking at the broader macro picture. If you want to look at the cycle a little bit longer term, then he's your guy. He does daily videos. He explains things very clearly. He likes to link the stock markets to the dollar, to Bitcoin, to gold, to all of the different macro instruments. He kind of pieces it all together. And he also looks at the property cycles as well. And I just think the guy is very underrated. He's one of those guys not many people talk about. He's a friend of Eric Cran. This is how I found out about him. And I think he's great. So Jason Pizzino, I would also have a look into. I think I've just thought of one more as well, which is more of an honorable mention. And this is going to be a guy called Bob Lucas. So he does the 4 year journey. He talks about the 4 year cycle. He normally only does videos once a month or once every couple of months. So he's not somebody to follow for sort of short-term, sort of daily alpha or anything like that. You're going to get that from your crypto banters. You're going to get that from me. You're going to get that from Eric Crown, Jason Pizzino as well. But someone like Bob Lucas, like I say, his videos don't come out so often, but when they do come out, they give some really, really nice longer term perspective as to where we are in the cycle and what to expect over the next few months. Not necessarily the next few days or weeks, but the next few months, the next year. So I really like Bob Lucas as well. So I will actually put the names in the descriptions of my team E. And to be honest, look, I don't really want to blow my own trumpet. I will remove myself from the team E because I don't really, want to brag or think it's fair to put me in there. But the team E, the new team E or the final team E will be Eric Crown, Jason Pizzino, and Bob Lucas. Okay. Links will go down below to their profiles. Definitely follow those three. Crypto Banter, Alex Beckett. If I had to say five to follow, definitely follow those three. And like I say, if you like me, then you can probably add me to the indifferent. Don't unfollow me. Don't definitely follow me. But if you like what I'm doing and you want to help support the channel and you've enjoyed this video, hopefully it's worth a follow from you. And yeah, I mean those are my honest thoughts on who to follow in this space. As you can see, I'm not going to tell you just to follow anybody. And there's many, many other influencers not on this list, which I definitely would not recommend following under no circumstances. So I've mentioned everybody on this list that I would follow. It's been made pretty clear. Like I say, if you're new to crypto, even if you're fairly knowledgeable and advanced on crypto, I would still follow these people. They're great sources of information and alpha to keep you really, really on the cutting edge of what's happening in this market. Like I say, Ran, Crown, Jason Pizzino, myself, we're all doing daily videos. So there's plenty of there for you to get stuck into. And I think on that note, I'm going to leave it there. So hopefully you've enjoyed this one. And like I say, if you have done, think about subscribing to me. Help me get my channel up to 1,000 subs. That's definitely the short-term target. And who knows where we go from there. Like I've said before, my video production will be getting better. I'm doing this on a sort of 3, 4 year old laptop right now. It's just me and the laptop. I'm going to be getting external microphone, external camera, all sorts of different things, better lighting, all sorts of different things to hopefully make the experience of watching my videos a little bit more enjoyable, a bit easier on the eyes and the ears, which is never a bad thing. So hopefully you can stick around and give me some feedback on the improvements when you notice them. And yeah, I'm going to wrap it up there. Have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you all again soon.